Welcome back, and welcome to my new viewers. Today we're going to be talking about artist brushes and their purpose. We're going to practice on this 9x12 oil and acrylic canvas paper. This is my brush collection that I've accumulated over years. You don't need this many to start. Alright, let's get at it. First we're going to go over the brushes and their names, and then we're going to do their purpose. Here's a set of brushes I've had for a while, still clean and pristine, never been used. This brush here is a flat brush. Next up is a round. It's round all the way around it. This one is an angle brush. As you can see, it's at an angle. This is a filbert. It's kind of rounded on the end, but still flat. This one is a bright. It's shorter than a flat. Doesn't hold as much paint. Then we have our, what I call blending brushes. Some people call them mop brushes. They're really soft. Fan brushes. Everybody loves a fan brush. It can do quite a few things. Some are soft and some of them are natural and some of them are synthetic. This is a dagger brush. It's a little more angled than an angle brush. These are comber brushes. I would consider those specialty brushes. Love my liner brushes and riggers. Of course, you can't forget the palette knife. It's not just for mixing paint, you can also paint with it. Scratch in some details. And then of course, speaking of details, I have these tiny little detail brushes. This is a tree and texture brush. It's great for adding texture to your paintings. And of course, I have some cheap plastic palette knives. These are hog-haired bristle brushes. And they're a little stiffer. And that is a small round. These are regular house painting brushes. I use those when I'm working on a larger canvas. We're going to start with a liner brush and see what kind of marks we can make with it. A liner brush usually makes nice thin lines. Great for making tree branches. Sticks, twigs, and grasses. Now this is my favorite liner brush. I've used it so much the writing has rubbed off of it. I'm not even sure who makes this brush, but I'm pretty sure I bought it at Michael's. Next up is the fan brush. Now the fan brush, you can get a lot of paint on a canvas, or you can just make tiny little marks with the paint. Great for making leaves. And you can make a nice straight line with it, like if you're putting in a tree trunk. You need a little more paint. As you can see, it does a pretty good job of covering the canvas quickly. It also is not bad at making grass marks. You know, little clumps of grass. It's a very versatile brush. Next up, the angle brush. I like to use that one to make nice straight lines, and when I have to cut in close. This is one of my hog-haired flat brushes, and it's got nice stiff bristles. Now if you use just the very tips of it, you can put in some detail in a tree or a bush, something like that. It also makes really good grasses. Next up is the round brush. It's also good for making nice straight lines. You can make them thin or you can make them thick depending on how much pressure you add. Like I said, just practice with your brushes to see what kind of marks you can make them make. None of it's written in stone that you have to use a certain brush for a certain stroke, a certain technique. Just experiment, see what you can come up with. Well, it was like after the fact, I thought about it. I should have demonstrated by painting clouds and trees and bushes and grass and all that, but instead I just have a abstract. That's what we're going to call it. Who knows, maybe I'll fill in the blanks there and turn it into something. Could be a masterpiece. And here I have my blending brush, or mop brush, depending on which you want to use it for. It's another one of those brushes that will put a whole lot of color on the canvas at a quick pace. And this is, I believe, another flat brush. Good for blending water. And then of course the palette knife. Can't forget the palette knife. It's great for scratching in tree branches, spreading big globs of paint across the canvas, and making some thick impasto leaves or petals on a flower, putting in water lines or ripples on the water. The palette knife isn't just for mixing paint, although it does that too. As you can see, I cleaned my palette knife just as soon as I was finished using it, and I do that with all my brushes. I try to keep them clean and ready to go. This is where I keep my Gamsol in my paint thinner container. It locks down, keeps the fumes out. It's got a seal around it, and it has a little handle on it, so if you want to go outside and paint plein air, you can take it with you. Not have to worry about it spilling. I also bought one of these early on in my painting experience, and it doesn't have a lid on it, so the fumes was just accumulating in the room and evaporating. So I use it now just to hang my brushes after I've cleaned them. Coming to an end. Anyway, I hope y'all got something out of this, and practice, practice, practice. Make some marks. Thanks for watching, y'all. See you next week. Bye.